as Chris and Fernand already mentioned, my name is David. I'm formerly known as Web Dave. I'm a freelancer. Google Developer Apps, Google Developer App expert. Oh, I'm totally lost in translation at the moment. I have a blog, webdave.de. You can find some interesting topics about freelancing or Angular or home working or home office stuff on there. I'm on Twitter on Instagram and Twitch. You can find me on webdave_de. On Twitch, I do a weekly stream on Monday at 8 p.m. Yeah, so it was yesterday, and you can find me on Twitter. I'm also part of the trainer community at Workshops.de. We do a lot of workshops about stuff, so I don't want to do that much commercial about this. Very important is if you book a workshop, you can have a special discount. If you say Dave 10, then you get 10% of discount of this song. But way more important is this little guy here. It's our new community Discord. We just started to switching over from Slack to Discord and to have better interaction with all the people there. And so we started to build our community there. I'm not sure how many people we are. I guess about 200. So maybe we will get all the 2,000 Slack users to Discord. It would be awesome. Yeah, as Chris already mentioned, code of conduct, my talks, my workshops, everything I do is always under the Berlin of conduct, which means in specific means just please don't be an asshole, be nice to everyone and be kind. Remember, Black Lives Matters. And if I mention Antifa, it doesn't mean I'm a part of the left wing who destroys streets or buildings. It just means I'm anti-fascism. Okay, this is very important. And I'm part of communities. Community is a very special thing for me because I learned a lot from them. So I'm very active in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So this is just some communities. Maybe if you are watching it right now, maybe there's a community right in your city and you want to support them with a talk or with just your to showing up at the meetups. Maybe in a few months there will be again some on-site meetups. It would be fine. And I rock also. I play guitar and bass, and this is my icebreaker at the moment. Okay, let me just close my presentation. Okay, how to debug. This is something very often asked me people in my projects or in my workshops. This is a topic, or this is a task during my workshops to learn how to debug, because you need to help yourself to check how to find bugs, how to answer questions about your application. So this is something which is very important, that you know how to handle this. So, it means we can now, I'm just having nice flickering displays. I hope this is not at your side, just at mine. Okay, I'm going. So I built a small app yesterday in my live stream, which is just a small table which fetches the data from Star Wars API. Maybe you know this. This is the Star Wars API, which is SW API. There is an open API where you can just fetch data and play around with it. So this is my base when I want to start to debug. And I built something, or I created a bug which makes that my application didn't work how I expected. So there is some functionality. So when we click on these links, then we can see that there are already some functionality. We can route somewhere and see, okay, there are details. So maybe this is the kind we want to see, I guess. And we have here pagination, so we can click here and click here and wait a minute. Oh no, this is the bug. So this is a bug. There's a problem. My pagina, I can't switch the pages. So this is something maybe you already figured out in or every the bug, which is you design something and then you figure out more. Oh, wait a minute, this doesn't work as I expect. So this is these are things sometimes happen. So we have to check what happens. First of all, if you start development, and this isn't related to Angular, if you start development, web application, there are two things you always have an eye on. The first thing is you should always have the console where your compiling process is running. This, in my case, is in my IDE I use, which is to record for me, and I do have this kind of terminal where I just started, in my case, an ngServe, which starts to compile the stuff. This is something you should always have an eye on, because this is very helpful when it comes to bugs. When I create some defect code, then the compiler is the first guy who recognizes this and tells me that there is a problem. So when I says, let me see, foo, and an equal sign, and when I now hit the save button, the compiler runs and he will immediately tell me some okay, there's a problem in my app component TS. So this is very obvious stuff. So the compiler tells me what's going on. So no, don't be afraid to keep an eye on it. Sure, I want to have some values here so that there is no issue anymore here. So this is a very easy stuff. Maybe you recognize there is also some hints with this red this line from my IDE, which says, okay, there is some kind of problem here. So, but sometimes, sometimes you don't see the red markers, you don't see the hints by your IDE, because you are so busy, or you are so like me and just too quick and not focused, whatever, then it's helpful to have someone who tells you, there's a bug, and then you can check it here. So this is the first thing. So first, the console where your compiler runs in. Okay, let me just fix this. And don't this one. The second one, who is the second place where you want to check for bugs, is in the console of the browser. So this here is the space where the browser is, where the compiler of the runtime compiler is talking to you if there is a problem. So the console we just saw is the compile time compiler who tells you if there is something going on. This here is the place where your runtime compiler is telling you, hey, there is a problem. Maybe you want to check this and this. For example, if we have defect code in our templates in Angular, for example, we can produce a bug. I try. It's very hard with this IDE to produce bugs because the IDE is so helpful that it immediately tries to help me and fix the bugs. So I just want to say it's I just misspelled it. So I want to type div because I want to type a div, but I wrote DIC. Okay, this is something happens very often. So now we see there's also immediately there's this line because DIC is not a known element. We know all this stuff, and we again have the feedback of the runtime compiler, which says, oh wait, there is a problem in your template. Maybe you want to fix this with disabling the error messages and all this stuff. And we also see the same message in the console of the browser. You see, okay, wait, there is DIC is not a known element. If DIC is an Angular component, then verify that it is part of a module. So if you know, maybe you know that we have to declare the components in modules in Angular. But there is no component which is catched by this selector DIC. So maybe there is a problem. And yeah, there is a problem because I created it. So these are two positions where it's very easy to catch up with the with errors. But sometimes you have not that kind of errors. You have errors which are the wrong behavior. So that you say, okay, we want to do this, and the behavior is, it says that. So let me check if we can find another example how we can fix this. First of all, we know there is a problem here. When we click here and here, there's nothing happening. There isn't. We see there's some kind of highlighting, but it doesn't work. And if we say this one, then there is an error that they say, okay, swap to Starship page 0. Okay, I guess there is no page 0, so there is something going on here. But first of all, we have to figure out what kind of element is this? What is this stuff here? Where can I check for errors? My projects here is not a very small project. If we take a look on this, these are just a few components. There's 1, 2, 3, and the app component. So there are 4 components in this. But in a normal enterprise project, this is not the way it is. We know this. And so if you want to check out, hey, what is this component? You can do this by using this little guy here. This is I call it the selector because I can select elements here. If you click here, we can hover over all the DOMs elements, and it says me immediately, okay, this is an TD, this is an TH, and this is an A, and there is another A. And so we can click on stuff, and then in the DevTools, we will get the hint where we are. So if I click here, it says, right, this is this anchor. The anchor which with this double, how it's called, I don't know, the smaller than sign. And this is something has the class pagination, which is obviously because this is our pagination. And now if we want to check, hey, what is this? What kind of element is this? We can use this DOM element, this anchor tag. We can use this in our console to identify in what kind of context this DOM element is. So in our case, I know it's very easy because there's just a little bit code around, but normally there is maybe it's not that easy. So you can just click on any kind of DOM element inside of any Angular element and say, okay, we want to check this. What is this? In the console, this DOM element is now referred in a variable called $0. And we can use this $0. Let me just clear the console. We can use this $0 inside of our console. Let me check this. $0. Yeah, it says it's an anchor tag. Oh, nice. This is very helpful. No. In our case, it's an Angular application, and very important, we are in development stage. So we can debug inside of the browser. Yeah, this is a very a good benefit of this development stage. A very bad thing about development stage is when we check the loading. It's 4.2 megabytes. So let's just quick head again to the console. So inside of our console, we can now use the Angular runtime compiler to check the stuff. So the Angular compiler we can get here with the token ng. You have to notice, yes, but this is very obvious because ng is always the shortcut to Angular. And in ng we can now use a method called probe. This is a method we can head over an object, and DOM object. In our case, we just give this $0 to it, $0, and then we can get the debug element. The debug element is now this kind of element, which is the assumption of the DOM element and your component class. Let me just expand this. Then you can see, okay, this is some kind of this. We have here attributes, we have child nodes, classes. It looks like a normal DOM attribute here, and normal DOM object. But we see, hey, there is some native element. Native element, this is the kind of, this is the template. And now we can just, okay, there is something which is not that clear. It's just a bit blurred out. This is the component instance. I just selected the anchor tag, this one. Yeah, we remember this one. And the component instance, which has these 3 dots, means there is a getter behind this, and we have to click on this to get the instance in which kind of context this DOM element is. So if I click it, it says, hey, it's a paginator component. So now we know what is the content of the context of this button here. If we expand this, we can see, okay, there is a go to, there is next, there is a page, which is -1, which is strange because we only want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have previous with this null. Maybe there is some kind of hints. We have some have an array of empty array of here values which are always null. So we can see what how the stage of this component is. So if we now we know what kind of what kind of context we are in. If you now just heading over to your laptop and starting to debug the same way, maybe it doesn't work because I tweaked a bit my application, because I started with my application in a special mode. I started my application in Ivy mode, in non-Ivy mode. It means back in 2020, there was the release of the official release of Ivy, the new render engine. And it was in version 9, I guess, yes. And this was the version when we replaced the render engine with Ivy. But this kind, I do the debugging just works with applications which are not in Ivy mode. If you want to see how to debug it in Ivy mode, just wait a second. I will show it to you after a few minutes. Okay, let me be honest to you. So we can now, we now see, okay, we are inside of the paginator component. So now we can head over to this component and can check how this component work and what is this component, what can we do there, and how can we check there how it works. If we want to say, okay, what kind of context is this? It says again, hey, it is in our DOM element is inside of the paginator component. Okay, let's head over to the paginator component to check it there. There is it. And if we check the component, we know there was this A with this previous button here. It was the first anchor tag inside of the class, the div with the class paginator, this one. So there's something wrong going on with this set page. Set page is just the method which is triggering the swap of the actual page before we trigger the reload of the list. Okay, this is just our event. So if we go in there, we say, okay, this is this page, set page. Okay, we want to emit a go to. Okay, so this is our page. Oh, let's head over to the to this one. we need to find a way to maybe debug like in some kind of in development languages like Java or .NET or like this. There is for non-Ivy pages, there are dev tools out there. They are called Augury. You can find them on the dev tools of your on the extensions of your browser. This is Augury. This is here. You can just download it and enable them, and then you can debug your Angular application in non-Ivy mode at the moment. So we see here we see the tree of our application. So we have a table, we have the paginator component. There. So we have this one, and here is our the state of our application. You can see here. We also see, okay, previous is null. Next is there's an URL, and we have an array, and we have page -1. So this is something which is working, is going on. Okay, well, if we let's check if the highlighting is working here. When I say, okay, we are on page 3, enter. No comma, please. Okay, it's working. So the highlighting is working. So we made sure that this is working. So let's check if we can set any breakpoints here. So here is the view source. Then we head over to the source page, which is here, and then we can set some kind of breakpoints here. So let me check if we can find if there is. Let me check if the event to toggle here, if this is working. Okay, so this is my breakpoint, and now I want to click here. Nothing is working. Okay, why? So let me click here. Oh, so go to the previous site. This is working. Okay, let me check what is here inside of all my stuff. My next. Okay, let me just check the Augury again. Because of my of the state of my application. Okay, next is this, and previous is null. Oh wait, I saw the bug. Okay, I did it before this. I found a bug. Oh yeah, everyone needs some kind of success moments. Okay, so my statement to enable the possibility to switch the page is inverted. So if we check our template, then we see here, okay, we check set page and we give it previous. Previous is in our case is null. Here is previous is a link, and in our set page we say, hey, if previous is true, which means not false, not null, then we make a break, like return. So, okay, let me just fix this here. So this was a very easy bug because I know there was a bug. Yeah, but this is how we can interact and can check our application and debug is by setting breakpoints and all this stuff. You are always you are also able to do this all the same debugging and setting breakpoints in your IDE. For example, in all the IntelliJ and JetBrains IDEs. Also with Visual Studio Code. With Visual Studio Code, then you need some kind of plugin to connect your browser with your IDE. But that's not the way I love to debug, because I love the dev tools in the browser and I don't need to set up any kind of configuration to be able to debug it. So this is the way I do. Okay, this is how we can use debugging and the debugger inside of an Angular application. Yeah, because this is a very small application, there are not that many bugs. But let's just check out Augury. What can we else see here? We can see there's an injector graph, which means we can see what kinds of injector or what kinds of dependencies injected inside of our application. Then we see, okay, there is some kind of, okay, we have the table component and it's inside of our dependency tree. It is on the second or on a certain node. Yeah, it's inside of the app component and it's in root component. So this is there. So we can just check this here out like a bit. And there's also this tab where we can check what kind of modules do we have inside of our application or of our component, which is strange because we see nothing. Let me just say reload the frame. Reload the frame. Maybe then we see more. Oh, we see nothing. This is nice. I do this one. So my application is on. Okay, I was just shocked because it's on nothing. Okay. My application is on always on the IDE stage, so I do not work that often with. Okay, that's again. Let me see if we now see some. No, this is working. Show a okay. We don't have any libraries which we did ourselves, so we only can see the Angular modules here. Okay, can you now please show me something that I can show the people that this is working? Oh, no. Another a nice debugger tool here is you can just check the router tree. You can check where what kind of routes are in our application and how can I access them. So if you you see in the moment we just have two routes. There's a table route and there's a detail route. And we can see if we have an empty route, then we are on the table component. And if we have the detail route, this is the route with the ID, which is this one. Yeah. Okay, but so this is how we can debug. Just find the element with your selector in your DOM, and then you can check out what kind of context are we in, and then we can check out what kind of component files are there. You can head over and you can try to check and set some breakpoints. If you don't have any augury and you want to use the source maps in the source files inside of your source tab, then you can use the normal the obvious way without augury. So in the Angular application, there is the webpack double colon and double slash, and there is the dot folder, and inside this is the folder of your application. So this is the source, and this is your application. Then you can find the same way the same structure as the application of your the same structure as your application on your project, and then you can find the, for example, details or the paginator, and you can find it here and can then check and set some breakpoints. So this is the way you can go every time with in development mode with your application. As soon as you are in production mode, you are not able to debug it that easy because there are hopefully no source maps. Okay, source maps are never allowed to deploy to production. Oh, please, yeah, please don't say, okay, let me just a short source map for development purpose on my production. No, don't do it, because this is an open door for everyone who wants to get into your application. So don't do this, okay? Because then you can prettify again your code, and then everything is not good. Okay, but so this is how we can debug and find bugs inside of our Angular application if we have not Ivy enabled. If you want to see how it works with Ivy, I have to set Ivy again as true. So this is the bit you can set a false to enable Ivy or a true, and then you need to reload your application, and then you have the application run in Ivy. And augury is at the moment not able to, as I know, not able to run your application or not debug your application when it runs in Ivy mode. And this is something which drives me crazy. This is the reason why I have to disable augury when you have it on Ivy mode, because otherwise it will throw a bunch of errors inside of your console and will crazy because of all the errors and all this triggering and all this. It's strange. But there are some other ways. So let me just check. Is it again? Is it here? Oh, yeah, I guess it is. It's already done, right? Let me check. Yeah, it is. So the application is done. You can use the almost the same techniques as I did. You can use them in your Ivy used application. For example, you can just check how in what kind of context is your DOM. So let me just check. So this is the long all-time favorite Starship is the Millennium Falcon. This is the reason why I spent incredible amount of money for the Lego model for this, but we don't talk about this. So this one, if you want to say, okay, let me see what kind of component is this table row in. Again, we have this DOM element inside of our component available in $0. The same technique is available in Edge, and very familiar technique is available in Firefox. You can use almost the same technique for this. So we can again say, okay, let me just check what is $0, and $0 is a table cell which says Millennium Falcon. So we learned in non-Ivy mode, we have the Angular compiler available, accessible by the token ng. And guess what? We have the same ng token in Ivy mode. But we have some other methods here. We don't have the probe message. We have the get component, for example, or we have the GetContext. GetContext is the same as we said, probe and then check for the instance. So this is what we want to go. We want to say, hey, give me the context of this DOM element. In our case, we say ng dot get context, this one, and I go for this one. And then we see, okay, this is inside of an ng4, and we can check, okay, this is inside of an ng4. So we have a way more specific way to see the context of this DOM element. We see, hey, we are not only in the component, which we have to check out with the get component. We can see, hey, in what kind of specific context is this? And we see, hey, we are inside of an ng4 loop. So this here is the ng4 loop, and we can see these are the array the ng4 is iterating over this. And when we check on this stuff, we can see, okay, we are on what kind? There are some, okay, this is the even, first, false, last, false, odd, false. So we can see we are on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means it's even, and it's not the first, it's not the last. So we can even, well, wait, is even right here? I'm just a bit confused. I guess it is. We are on index 4. Oh, wait, yeah, we are, because it's 0 based. Oh, damn. We are 0 based. So yeah, we are on index 4. So it is even, and we can see that there is see the state of your iteration. But if you want to find the component in which one this DOM element is, we can just use the get component. Okay, so let's see. We say ng dot get component and this one. Null. Why? Wait. Did I just mix it up? No, I didn't. Oh, wait. Let me just check again. We go there and we say, let me just get it. Oh, wait. It is because we need to check out the parent element, I guess. Oh, wait. I just lost my my concept. Wait. Get the listeners, get the inject. I want to get in what kind of component I am in. And I want to say, okay, get me the, I guess, get me the host element. And this means the host element of this one. And this is this one. Oh, this is not the same. I want to see. Wait, why? So if it looks like I'm totally lost, you are wrong. Okay, I'm totally fine. Okay, wait, I just want to check again. Wait, get back on track. This is something I do almost every day, and I'm just wondering why I just lost my concept. Wait, I'm on a DOM element and I want to check it. And I want to get the owning, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, this was it. The owning component. Oh, damn, sorry for this. It's almost midnight here in Hamburg. Okay, so we can get owning component, we can say, hey, what kind of components owns this DOM element? So it's the same as we said, hey, what is the context of this in the non-IB mode? And then we can always see the same information, even more information in here. We see, okay, this is, there is some kind of subject, which is readable because it's here set, and we have some information about the page and the route and all this stuff. So with this technique, you can check out what kind of element I am in if you have the DOM element. But with non-IB, we had augury. So maybe there will be another tool to debug Angular. And let me tell you a secret. Yes, there will. One day I will be allowed to name you the name of this, but there is another dev tool waiting for us, which is not officially not released at the moment, and we are able to do almost the same stuff with this. We can just say, okay, let me just find the DOM element and find this one. I want the table. Okay. And when we can check, okay, what is inside of my stuff, we can explore and inside of our component and the component tree, maybe there will coming stuff for this in the future. So we will have some kind of debugging tools in the browser in the future, officially released. Yeah, the same, we can just click here and we have the $ng0, which we can then use inside of our console and say, okay, $ng0. Oh, wait, it's a zero. Don't equal, it's a zero. And we can check from there out, okay, what kind of stuff is there? So there will be an official released tool to debug an Angular application in the future, okay? It's not released now, but it will be at some point. We also have the possibility to click to select the component, and then we can say the same as we did in augury, we can manipulate it and say, okay, let me check, can we add it here? And you can edit the state of your components and have a look if your stuff is working as you expected. There's also some kind of profiler, which I didn't figure out how it works entirely, because I totally lost it. But we will have way more information in a few weeks, because I guess we have a meeting about this with the GDEs next week, I guess, like this. And then there will be feedback for these dev tools, and then we will one day we will have a fully functional, well-developed dev tools for debugging Angular application in our browser. So just to sum it up, if you are in IB mode, you at the moment you have to stick with the Angular default debugging tools, which means you have to stick with ng and then the methods to check out and pick and get the context or the owning components of this stuff. You can use this to get to know in what kind of component is your DOM element, and then you have to of course you have to just read a bit of code, and then you have to you can use the source maps to set some breakpoints. So always as the usual way. So always as usual, this kind of thing. If you are in non-IV mode, you at the moment are a bit ahead because you have this kind of augury which you can use to debug. But as I said, this kind of debugging tools will be available soon. I guess very soon, because they are working with a whole team on this. I guess a whole team, which means what kind of whole team? But there are working people on this, and so I'm very excited about this because the future is bright and looks awesome. So I hope you had at least as much fun as I had, and I hope you are also as at least as happy about that my application is working. Wait, as I did. I need to, okay, this one. So we have the possibility to swap and so on. So this is something what's the goal of my talk, and I'm hoping now you feel more confident when it comes to debugging your application. One last thing. Now we just digged into the basic of debugging. What is the way to, if you want to debug the most scary thing in Angular? And the most scary thing in Angular is observables. I guess it's kind of scary because there is some myth and there is something going on, and at the end there are data or not. And if there are no data, then you have to check why. And first of all, observables, you can debug observables by using a pipe just to get information about this. I'm not sure if there is any other way to get information about the state of the pipe, of the state of the observable. In Angular, you can use or in ArcGIS you can use the pipe of the guess this is this one. Yeah, okay, this one. And you can use this is the wrong one, this one. You can use the pipe and the operator, the tab operator, to tap in the stream and just debug and get the information about what is going on there, to be able to interpolate what does this means, what you see. So you can then try to understand what kind of information you see here and what does it means to you. It means we can use the operator, which is called tab. And tab operator is an operator you can use in your stream, and you are not able to harm the stream or the stream data in any way, because this is a tab which is just acting as a side effect. It means you are not able to change the stream in any way. You can use the stream, clone it, and put it in some variables or what else, but the tab doesn't harm the stream in any case. So we can use this here, and just the very short way, we can just console log it here like this, and then we see inside of our console what is inside of this stream. This is just one thing I do almost very often, almost every day when I have a problem with observers. Then I use this tab, and if we see, you can just click and see what is going on, and you can check if the data you get is what you expect. That's it. Okay, that's it for me for now. I hope I didn't forget anything about I want to tell you. If there are any questions, please go for it now. Oh, this was your text, okay? And I hope it was not that confused, but yeah, it's okay.